Gentlemen, please welcome Claudia Wells. Keep it going for Claudia Wells. All right. Hello, hello. Which seat would you like? Which side? I would like that side. That side. Okay. Oh, buddy. You are so. That's my first question for you. Which side do you prefer? We all have a side. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to just mark out for a moment. That's a wrestling term. It means fangirl. Claudia Wells, I am a huge Back to the Future fan. Yep. Ross?
Hello, hello.
There we are. Huge Back to the Future fan. And I host a show on YouTube with two of my very best friends, Lisa Marie Varon and Mickey James. It's called Grown Ass Women TV. And this lovely lady is not only a grown-ass woman, but she was an amazing guest for us. And I was, of course, fangirling, because I feel like I've seen you at conventions, but I got to know you in that interview. So first of all, thank you for doing that. You can catch that on YouTube, as well as this interview here. But Claudia, this is such a fun atmosphere. We have the nicest people here in Aberdeen. How have you been enjoying yourself?
I love it.
Yeah?
I just realized I still haven't had fish and chips.
Oh, yes.
So I have to have fish and chips. That's
yes.
very important.
And haggis in Scotland, too. We'll have to get you some
No,
haggis.
I don't think so. Do you know what that is?
I do.
It's sheep tummy.
It is.
Yeah, no thank you, no thank you.
I Googled it.
I love it, though. People are kind. Everyone is wonderful. The spa at the Hilton, I highly recommend.
Ooh.
I spent 2 days there.
Did you?
Yes.
I love spa day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you have done? Massage?
What?
What did you have done? A massage?
I had a full body scrub, deep tissue massage, facial, gel nails, gel toes, and then the next day I had another massage and another facial.
This is my kind of girl.
Yeah.
You know what, though? When you travel, by the way, guys, if you're just joining us, hello. We have microphones on the left and the right if you want to ask Claudia Wells a question. But when you're traveling around, you have to make it a fun experience, because the journey for you coming from California, is that right?
It was 12 hours from LA to Heathrow, and then 2 hours from Heathrow to Aberdeen.
Yes.
And so I got here Wednesday and spent Thursday at the spa.
I think you needed the spa after that travel
And then a
day.
little bit of Friday,
Yes.
and then napped, and then I went to bed at
And maybe
8:30
you'll
last night.
See you there tonight, maybe at the spa again. You never know. Well, that's a huge travel day, but I think a lot of times people that are not in the entertainment industry or that travel to Comic Cons, they don't realize that there are some very unglamorous parts of travel. Is that right?
But I love all parts of travel.
Do you?
I love the airplane. I love the airport. I love all of it. TSA, when they give you that little rub down. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah.
Just the palms of my hand and the back of my hand. I always get chosen.
Do you?
I'm like, I don't date, so hi.
Hello. Maybe I do have something stashed somewhere. You never know. You never know. Well, where have your travels taken you in your Back to the Future and Comic Con sort of career?
Oh, gosh, everywhere. Australia, Chile, Japan, Buenos Aires, almost all of the states, or many of the states, probably 10 states. London, south of France, Mallorca, Italy, Germany.
Wow.
Sweden? Was I in Sweden? No, not yet. A lot of places. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Any favorites?
Every single place that I am is my favorite.
Is it?
So right now, this is my very favorite trip I've ever had, ever in my life.
Yes. Give yourselves a round of applause, Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Personal favorite of
for
Claudia
sure.
Wells.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
And then I'll be filming in the Czech Republic in
wow.
May. And I'm doing a show in Plano, Texas. I get home on the 15th. Or the night of the 15th, and I'm in LA on the 16th, and I leave on 6 a.m. flight on the 17th for Plano, Texas.
Oh my gosh.
I'm back the evening of the 19th, going to church on the 20th, and then going to San Diego for a think tank event called Secret Knock that afternoon. I mean, it's been like boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Do you
love
love
it.
being busy, though? Are you one of those people that prefers to be busy?
I love being busy
Yep.
or home cuddling with my kitty cats.
Your kitty cat.
I'm a very good cuddler with my kitty cats.
Well, you mentioned these current projects that you're doing. Can you
Yes.
give us any exclusive info on what that's going to be and what you're filming? Or is it very hush-hush?
It's not so hush-hush. It's a fairy tale film that takes place in the Czech Republic in a castle. I play the queen.
Of course. Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Of course.
It's typecast.
Yeah. They
And-
needed a queen.
Yes, and beautiful, beautiful wardrobe. It reminds me of opera gowns in operas I was in San Francisco. So I'm doing that. And then, of course, my store, Armani Wells, in Studio City, is 30 years old.
Wow, congratulations.
Yep, at the same location. I opened when I was 25. 30 years ago, I'm 55 and a half.
And a half. I love it.
Going on 56.
She's giving you a round of applause. Yes, she knows.
Yeah, and just I have a lot of bookings. It just got settled last night. I'll be at Southampton in July, and I'll be at Monopoly Events Edinburgh in October with James Tolkien, who's one of my great buddies. He played Mr. Strickland in Back to the Future, and yes, one day he had hair when he was a teenager.
When he was a teenager.
Yeah. He shaved his head for a job, and then he kept it shaved for the rest of his life.
Wow. How many of the cast members do you keep in contact? Are you still kind of a close-knit group?
Very.
Yeah.
More now than ever, because I met Goldie, Mayor Goldie Wilson, at the 25th anniversary party for the first time. He's one of my best friends. His name is Donald Fullilove, and he got married to a woman recently whose first name is Two Love. So now her name is Two Love Fullilove.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
I know. I said, sounds like a stripper. She said, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty
She's
unique.
really nice. And Harry Waters Jr., he's awesome. And James Tolkien is one of my best friends. We talk every couple months, no matter what, for years and years and years. Christopher Lloyd is awesome. I see him at shows. And he and I were the only two cast members in the video game, the Back to the Future video game. Your eyeshadow is so pretty.
Your eyeshadow is so
Yours
pretty.
is.
This is why she was on Grown Ass Women TV, because we could sit here and talk about glitter eyeshadow forever. I know that's what you all sat down
glitter.
to listen to.
Glitter.
Nails.
Can you see?
You're very glam.
The toes match.
Very glam, and this is something I learned on the show when I had the pleasure of interviewing you, is that you actually have such a passion for fashion, such a passion and a knowledge for vintage fashion. So can you tell them more about Armani Wells?
Well, it's actually a high-end designer resale for men, which means I'm the second person to sell the clothes. They're brand new at resale prices, tags still on them, or pre-owned in perfect condition. Everything's dry cleaned. And what it is it's super high-end clothing at discount prices. So instead of $5,000 for an Armani suit, you pay $700. Or instead of $12,000 for a Keaton, you pay $1150. Instead of $380 for a Robert Graham shirt, you pay $95. So my prices are pretty spectacular. And I always tell men, you just have to walk in with your wallet. I will do all of the rest. So I dress you, I figure out what looks great on you. I'm only bossy when I'm right. It's perfect. So it works out great.
I tell that to men too about the wallet. Just kidding. That got weird. Just kidding. Just kidding. Actually, speaking of men's fashion, something that I love, menswear and fashion, there are a lot of very dapper gentlemen here. We had John Rhys Davies on the stage. Who was here for John Rhys Davies earlier?
I was over there for John Rhys.
Oh my gosh.
He's fabulous.
Phenomenal. I literally told our lovely Andy, the promoter of Monopoly Events, I said, that's probably the most entertaining panel I've ever done. It was just, he just commanded the stage, but a very dapper, well-dressed, sharp-dressed man.
No, he walked right by me, and I was like, ooh, nice suit.
See?
And he did a message for my dad, because he mentioned, I think he mentioned Cairo or... Oh, yeah, he mentioned Indiana Jones.
Yes.
And it was in Cairo, and I said, well, my father lived in Cairo for 2.5 years, and he was in the Sudan for 18 months. And my dad is Indiana Jones in real life. He's literally like that. So John made messages for my dad, and I emailed them.
How lovely is that?
It was really lovely.
He was wonderful. Really, really amazing guy. If you happen to miss it, it will be on YouTube. Just follow Monopoly Events. Another sharp-dressed man that you might have met, Booker T. Did you meet Booker T
Washington?
yet? No, Booker T. Washington. He's actually all the way over there. Have you met him yet? One of the wrestlers. If not, we'll have to introduce you.
Oh, yes. In the royal blue suit
Yes.
with the beautiful spread collar and the
Yes.
gorgeous tie.
See, she notices.
Yes. I remember men by their clothes.
Yes. We have a lot of males in the audience, a lot of males that come to Comic-Con. Can you, in a polite, I'm sure you'll make it polite, a polite way, explain why, men dressing well is so important and a show of respect, right?
It's a matter of being elegant and a gentleman. So it is a matter of respect. I lived in New York before I opened my store, and there's something about a New York Manhattan man who dresses. It's a matter of self-respect. The thing is about dressing well, you feel better. And I think men have a dignity, a birthright of dignity and power. And when they're wearing beautifully made fabrics and beautifully tailored cut things that are comfortable, which most super expensive things are much more comfortable, they're the man who's chairman of the board comfortable. So when there's a meeting and everyone's wearing suits that are itchy or feeling like cardboard, my guys are just like this because they're relaxed and they know they're gorgeous. And it's all about the fabric, the cut, the feel against your skin. So the really super high-end suits feel like pajamas, and they know they feel special knowing that they're in something special. Yes. And it really makes a difference, whether it's well-made jeans or a stunning Giorgio Armani suit. There's just a difference in the fabric and how it's made and the tightness of the weave. It means something, and it's a matter of respect when people look at you. It's a matter of respect when you're just feeling so good about who you are. Every single man is gorgeous, and every man can wear an outfit that just makes them feel special. It's really it's more important, I think, for men than for women, because women can wear a $60 dress and look fabulous.
Right.
A man cannot wear a $60 suit ever. Well, not that it even exists, but that's why I have a store just for men, because I think they deserve me and they deserve to know who they are, and the right clothes show them that.
Yes. It gives them that confidence. I think that's very well said.
Self-respect and confidence.
Yes. Well, again, I could talk about glitter eyeshadow and fashion, but let's get to what we're all here to discuss, which is Back to the Future. I mean, myself, my sisters, we grew up on Back to the Future, and it's a franchise that it's even spanned into a musical now.
Back to the Future, the musical.
Yes, yes.
Which, by the way, won Best Musical. I think it won 7 awards.
Oh, wow.
It's playing until October 23rd so far in Manchester, and I can't wait to see it.
Have you not seen it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, that's exciting.
Not yet. I'll see it in July when I'm here for the Southampton show.
Wonderful. But I mean, it spans so many different films and books, and also, a musical. So when you were cast in Back to the Future, did you know that it was going to be the global phenomenon that it became?
Oh, no. I don't think
not
any
at all.
of us. No, not at all. In fact, there's more than that, because I got a guy named Jim, a friend of mine, texted me a picture on Valentine's Day playing the Back to the Future board game, holding up a Jennifer Parker piece from the game, and his girlfriend got it for him for Valentine's Day. And I'm
so
like,
cute.
I didn't even know there was a game.
See, there you go.
There's
Merchandise
a
details.
card game. There's everything. So no, I'm just ecstatic that I got to be Jennifer in the movie, because it's the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, it's just it never fades. It just keeps getting more and more, and every new generation brings a new generation of fans. I don't know if you saw, but Frasier, who cried when I tried to say hello, is Marty McFly, and he's probably about 14 months old.
No way!
The
14
DeLorean
months
dad
old.
is his dad.
Oh,
so
my gosh.
Marty's come in all shapes and sizes and all ages.
Baby Marty.
Baby Marty.
I really have to go find it. But I was going to say, kids love it. And it's one of those movies that just translates for all ages.
All ages.
Yeah, and genders as well.
Yeah,
Girls-
absolutely. And I met a rocket scientist at one show who said she was a rocket scientist based on seeing Back to the Future. And I mean, I've met so many. Back to the Future fans are just the best fans on the planet. I mean, that's just like known. It's just common sense. Yeah. But they're smart, and they're interesting, and they're funny, and they're dynamic. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And they're loyal, it sounds like.
Very loyal.
Yes, and all over the world, I'm sure you've met different people
All
of
over the
different
world.
ages. Yeah.
And I have fans all over the world,
Yeah.
so it's like a family.
Yes.
I mean, we all interact with each other. I read every single comment everyone writes. I do all my own posts.
I love that.
And it means something. It's funny. I mean, I'll sit there all by myself cracking up at the funny comments they make. And then, God forbid, someone says something mean. Everyone bounces on them and like, no.
They
So I feel-
protect you.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I love that. Well, that was going to be my next question, actually. Social media is something that you just said you have full control over your own social media. And now you were on the TikTok bandwagon.
Yeah, okay, so I'm 2 days on TikTok. Now, I have to say I am getting help from a 21-year-old on TikTok. Otherwise, I would never be on TikTok because I wouldn't know the first thing to do. And I got a text yesterday saying, this is a dance that's trending. Will you please do this? And I'm like in the middle of the night in my pajamas trying to do this like, da, da, whatever it was. This guy where it starts at the sink and then it goes up and this kid is in his bathroom with like millions and millions of followers doing this dance. Of course, I tried it and banged my hand and I'm like going, ouch. But so now I'm 2 days on TikTok. It's Claudia Wells Official. So I am getting help with that, but it's all me. I'm just getting help because otherwise I wouldn't even know what to do. But at the Claudia Wells on Facebook is me, and on Twitter and on Instagram, and I'm very personal because I like sharing my life with people and my church and my kitty cats.
Do they make appearances on your TikTok and your
They
Instagram?
do.
Do they?
Okay, so I've got Goldie, who's like a flying raccoon. He jumps and flies. So I'll be laying there in bed, and all of a sudden, I'll be like this, because all of a sudden Goldie just jumped off like the windowsill onto my chest. And then his sister Oreo, who looks like an Oreo, and then Toofy, who's 20. And I bottle fed, personally every 3 hours, Goldie and Oreo, and their sister who... I rehomed their sister, but she's very famous now. She's called I Am Rosie. I don't think she even recognizes her brother or sister anymore because she's very famous.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Much more than her siblings.
Oh. Does she have a big head about it?
Yeah.
She does.
She does.
Well, I love that you're on social media and you're using it to your advantage. We were saying earlier that there is some negativity there. There's also sort of the danger of, being a little too obsessed with it, being on your phone too much. That's something that I'm very conscious of. Doesn't mean I use my phone any less, but I'm conscious of it, that's for sure. But mostly you've had a positive experience with social media.
Mine's all positive.
Good.
I don't get into politics or any of that. And really, if people are mean, they get banned immediately. So basically, I'm a G-rated social media everything, and we have rules of respect. Otherwise, you get kicked off.
You get the old block button. We love a block button. Very helpful in this day and age.
No, it's important, though, because it's a matter of, we're all people, so you want to be kind to each other, and you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, because we're all sensitive.
Yeah.
So behave or be gone.
Yeah. It's that age-old manners. That's what John Rhys Davies was telling us earlier about having manners and making people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think it's just that idea that they're behind a screen, behind a keyboard,
Right.
that they would never say something like that to your face or to
Right.
my face. It's interesting. There's that weird, misplaced ego where they just think, I can say whatever I want.
But sometimes you just got to give them a chance, because one guy said something and I commented on it, and he felt so bad. I said something like, my mom taught me that if you have nothing nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all.
Yes.
And he came back with, I'm so sorry, I was drunk, I didn't know what I was doing.
Sometimes you need to call them out, though.
Yeah, and and so he was allowed to stay.
You didn't block him for
I didn't
forever.
block him.
You just scared him a little bit.
Just
Nothing wrong with that.
Just confronted him.
Yes. Well, if you guys are just coming up and joining us, this is Claudia Wells of Back to the Future. And if you want to ask a question, we've got a microphone there, and we've got one right over here. And we have a question from, obviously a fan. Look at that shirt.
Oh, cute shirt, I see.
What are your thoughts on the possibility of a Back to the Future 4 or a remake?
There won't be one, guaranteed. Bob Gale said that. Bob Zemeckis has said that. And so many people say Back to the Future is like a perfect movie that I can see why they wouldn't want to do it again. But there's always going to be new things, like right now, Back to the Future, the musical, or Back to the Future, the video game that we did. So there's a never-ending plethora of Back to the Future things. There doesn't need to be a Back to the Future 4. It can still keep growing.
Doesn't need to go back to the future.
Right.
That would get a little monotonous.
But
It's a
you
great
know, if there
question.
was one, I would want to be in it. Just
Oh, yes.
on a side note.
As a queen this
Right.
time. Come back as a queen for Back to the Future 4. Great question from you. And if anyone else has a question, come up and ask. But we're here at Comic-Con, and we're talking about celebrities. We're talking to a celebrity. Now, listen, we are all here for the same reason, to have fun, to see some famous people. Or is there anyone here that you were excited to meet in terms of celebrities? We've got a lot of different ones.
Okay.
Fangirl moment.
Okay, so I'm not really well versed on who's who at any of the shows. Let's start with that.
Sure.
But I will say who's super fun. James Crossley. James Crossley?
Is he artist?
Hunter.
Oh, you mean Hunter? Yes.
Because you know why? Did you guys see him bench press me? He went like this.
He was bench pressing her.
And I was sideways like this. And so he's my favorite.
Yes, Hunter. The Gladiators panel, yes, that's going to
Oh
be a
my
lot of fun.
gosh, that was so much fun.
Yes, yeah.
You
They're
have
all
to
really
see
nice.
it. It's on my TikTok.
If you want to see it, you can go to TikTok. Was it Claudia Wells Official?
Yes.
Yes. And did you have anyone here that you'd met before that you had, other than myself, that you had a little reunion with? Or are you meeting
No,
people for
it's
the
just
first time?
you.
It's just me.
It's just you.
I did accost her backstage, and I was so excited to see her that I gave her a hug, and she goes, Val, okay. Which happens a lot to me, too. I go, hello. Oh, hello. Yes. Yes. Does that ever happen to you at a Comic-Con where someone says, I've met you before, and then, you know.
Oh, it's happened to me at my store.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's someone who came to my store. His name's David, and he was so good looking that he came in. His name was David. I go, hi, David. Oh, David. So then he always became David.
Yeah.
And he called me once, and I had no idea who it was. And then he goes, it's David. And I went, oh, David. So
That just outed yourself. You gave him a special nickname.
yeah.
Yeah, that is amazing. Well, we have a lot of people here that are.